Hello everyone, I'm sorry I can't record the video. I've just been having problems. I can't do the voice acting myself. So I am using an AI voice. I know you guys voted to have it be me, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. I'm sick right now. So I'm using AI. Stories fully written by me, but I have to use AI to have the full thing. So, enjoy the story. Act 2 will be probably next week. Enjoy Act 1. See you all next time.
Jackeos Cyborg versus Jackeos Blood God by Agent Catman. Act 1. One-on-one. I flew in the air above the planet I had selected for the battle. I snapped and teleported Jackeos Cyborg in the sky from his peak after the nuke, and before the evolution phase of his infection began. He had 4 omnidirectional self-propelled multi-weapon platforms on his back with 2 on his forearms. 8 black mechanical tentacles came from his back. His black exosuit lined his body. 2 black automatic gun on his shoulders, and his mechanical limbs covered in material to make them look natural. His 6OD SPMWP activated and flew off of his forearms. He used his jetpack and floated down to the ground, scanning his surroundings. The cyborg's tentacles extended from 1.5 feet to their maximum of 6 feet long. I snapped again, and a dark red portal appeared around 100 meters from the cyborg. This immediately got the attention of the cyborg, and he turned towards it, priming his lasers for if a battle was necessary. A shockwave was let out as Jackeos the Blood God appeared from the portal, but Jackeos Cyborg was unfazed. He looked like any human at the moment, but I knew he hadn't activated his powers yet. "Who are you?" Jackeos Cyborg asked, lowering his guard a little. "I go by Jackeos," Jackeos Blood God responded, his pupils turning a light red color. "I do also," Jackeos Cyborg said, raising his guard, detecting Blood God's raising his power. "I haven't seen anyone with as advanced technology as you before," the Blood God said. "I am guessing you also seem to get teleported here randomly?" "I was," Jackeos Cyborg answered him. "Where are you from?" "I'm from a universe that has been at war for a couple thousand years, but I don't want to get into it right now." "How about you?" the Blood God asked back. "I am from a world overrun by an infection of zombie-like furries. I was originally from another universe. I don't know how it happened myself. The last thing that happened there was some type of battle," Jackeos Cyborg answered him. He looked around and asked, "Do you sense that?" The Blood God waited until Jackeos Cyborg was looking a different direction. Jackeos Blood God launched in, enabling his glowing yellow eyes, and blood-red scales began to cover his hand. Jackeos Cyborg moved and was able to dodge by leaning back. "Oh, really now," he said. "From this point on, Jackeos Cyborg will be referred to as just Jackeos and Jackeos Blood God as the Blood God, unless specified." Jackeos primed his tentacle lasers and fired them, activating his jetpack at the same time to again distance. The Blood God put one arm up, blocking the lasers from hitting his face. Jackeos activated the guns of 2 of his ODS PMWP, and the bullets started to pelt the Blood God. The bullets did no damage, as blood-red scales began to spread across his body. Jackeos deactivated his lasers and guns, staying in the air, then said, "We don't have to fight. Don't try and weasel your way out of this," the Blood God said. The Blood God tapped into more of his powers, and the blood-red scales covered his whole body. Blood-red draconic wings came out of his back, and a glowing white halo appeared over his head. He put one hand out towards Jackeos and let out a shockwave. It sent Jackeos back a little. "So be it," Jackeos said. Jackeos activated his blue energy sword and flew down at the Blood God. The Blood God was about to let out another shockwave, but 3 of the ODS PMWP fired at him. They didn't do much damage, but provided a distraction that allowed Jackeos to get up close. Jackeos grabbed the Blood God's arm, and then his suit opened the chest core, and he fired. The core fired a dark red flame. It angled the Blood God mostly. Then the Blood God sent another shockwave that sent Jackeos away from him. "Okay then," the Blood God said, his scales damaged with some of the flames still on him. The Blood God began to get surrounded in an orange mist. The 6 ODS PMWP came together, each 2 separate ones merging into 3 bigger, X-shaped ones. The 3 ODS PMWPs flew to Jackeos, flying above him and aiming at the mist. The mist began to fade, and Blood God wasn't there anymore. Jackeos sensed it right as the Blood God came in from behind. The Blood God was healed, and now had purple flames surrounding his hands. Before Jackeos could dodge or block, the Blood God kicked Jackeos in the back, sending him to the ground. The Blood God pressed his foot into Jackeos' back, reached down, and ripped 2 of the mechanical tentacles off the suit. Jackeos opened the faceplate of the suit and let his skin touch the ground. Jackeos used his earthbending in that moment and sent tendrils of rock out of the ground at the Blood God. The Blood God didn't expect this and was sent away from Jackeos by the tendrils. The Blood God sent out another shockwave that destroyed the tendrils. Jackeos sent his ODS PMWPs at him. He fired the lasers and guns at the Blood God. The Blood God's eyes turned pitch black as black lasers fired from them. The one he targeted stopped and activated its shield, deactivating its guns. Jackeos got up and began to emit smoke from his exosuit. Blood God noticed this and decided to dispose of the drones quickly. The Blood God let out multiple direct shockwaves at each of the ODS PMWPs. With the EMP at the end, the attack landed and the ODS PMWPs fell to the ground, but none were significantly damaged. This gave Jackeos the time he needed to prepare, and when the Blood God looked down, he saw Jackeos in his exosuit with it completely covering his body, showing no skin. He looked completely black, a red glowing a faint red. His mask had a faint smile on it. "Surrender and the egg may show you mercy, mortal," the Blood God taunted. Jackeos didn't say anything and just looked up at the Blood God, his eyes glowing a darker red. The Blood God couldn't see it because of the smoke and distraction, but he was talking to half of Jackeos, Stage 2, autonomous drone. Jackeos hid underground, controlling the exosuit drone with mainly his right eye's cybernetics. "So be it," the Blood God said. The Blood God launched down at the exosuit. He went for a punch. The exosuit moved out of the way of the punch, barely dodging in time. A patch in the center of the exosuit opened, revealing a core glowing a dark red color. The core fired a powerful dark red beam straight into the Blood God's face. The Blood God was sent back by the beam. The scales on the face of the Blood God turned a pitch black. The purple flames on the hands of the Blood God increased as his forearms and hands' scales turned pitch black. The Blood God put one hand up to block the beam from his face and sent a powerful torrent of dark purple flames at the exosuit. Jackeos saw his chance and launched out of the ground using his original powers to create a hand of lighting on his right arm that allows him to use most of his powers. Jackeos came from behind the Blood God and hit him downward with a hit strong enough to destroy a medium-sized planet. The Blood God slammed into the planet and caused a big shockwave as he collided with the planet, a big crater forming. A large amount of dust and debris was sent into the air. The exosuit activated its laser shields to protect itself. Jackeos used his powers to make a strong wind around him to stop any debris. Jackeos looked at his lightning hand and said to himself, "So what was limiting my power in that other universe is gone. Good." Jackeos looked down at the crater, sensing as the power of the Blood God grew. Jackeos' remote controlled his exosuit to fly up and out of the smoke as he let out a shockwave downwards at the Blood God that separated the dust and debris. The Blood God was standing there, a red glow surrounding him, his scales a darker red color, his halo glowing brighter, his tail more draconic, his claws extending longer, his flames more intense and coming from his legs, his eyes glowing a brighter yellow, his wings becoming bigger. The Blood God launched at Jackeos at faster than the speed of light, but Jackeos tracked him and blocked the hit with his lightning arm, the hit sending him back. The exosuit flew down into the smoke as the Blood God launched at Jackeos and backhanded him, sending him way away from the area where the crater is. Jackeos could tell he couldn't beat the Blood God at this rate of his growth and went into a more defensive stance. The Blood God launched in at Jackeos. The Blood God threw a punch from the left, and Jackeos activated the laser shield to block the hit, but the shield was instantly overloaded by the hit and shut off. The Blood Gods grabbed Jackeos' left arm and ripped it off, kicking him in, then kicking him with a roundhouse kick, sending Jackeos down to the ground. The Blood God floated in the air and said, "A weakling like you isn't worth my time. Act 2 Jackeos the Gladiator soon."
Act 2 will be soon. Now I've been left alone with the cloning machine. Now I'm just cloning myself a bunch. No one will stop it. No one can stop me now. Wah.